Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Leslie and I am a student nurse for hopefully only like 2 more weeks. But today I'm just going to go and make an NCLEX study schedule. Let's get right to it. I have watched so many videos. I'm watching one right now. I'm trying to figure out what I should do, what I need to do, and I feel like it's super frustrating because I don't even know where to start. I feel like we weren't prepared to study for NCLEX. Like, no one gave us a guide of like, do these subjects, use these books, do this program. Like, there's no cohesive like method, and I was just wishing that someone had on Pinterest or on YouTube something that I really liked. But I'm very particular when it comes to schedules, hence all of my planning videos. But I'm gonna come up with one for you guys. Yeah, let's do it. So let's start with this drawer of goodies. I have my planner, my pens, zebra midliner highlighters because everybody has them and I wanted to try them. And then a bunch of different tabs and post-it notes. In my ATI live review, I showed you guys the tabs that I was using to mark the page numbers that she referenced from our pink book, and I was actually running out, so I went out and got some more from Amazon because I didn't even leave the house before we were quarantined, but now I definitely don't. I just go to work. So yeah, I'm gonna put everything in my planner, but first I'm gonna show you guys all the resources that I'm using. So for those of you who don't know, I moved into my parents' house 2 days ago. The decision was made before the entire pandemic and shut down. So now I am confining myself to my room in my parents' house because I'm the only one leaving the house and I am essential personnel. I work in the ER, so I'm kind of trying to make this room my own, one that I know that I will be in for a very, very long time or the foreseeable future. So what I do have, I did this when, I don't remember when I did this, but I do have all my fluid and electrolyte values on the wall. So when we are doing our ATI live reviews, when I am studying, they're here for me, but I do need to work on a way of memorizing those. But anywho, this is my current desk setup. So I'm gonna now get all my stuff out and then I will show you guys the resources that I'm using. Our notorious pink book that I've already spilled coffee on, but this book is supposed to be a condensed, quick and dirty version of all of these. So this is what we're using during our live review. Our school actually gave us this book during our last term, our first day of our last term, and they purchased it for us. It actually came with the package, or maybe they purchased it afterwards, but I do think you can get this online, and if you can, I will find the link for you and put it in the description box below, I promise. So that's all of this is supposed to be in there. So these are all of ATI, number 1. Okay. Number 2, this is the Saunders NCLEX RN examination book. I'm sure that you guys have seen this. This is the 7th edition. I do think that there is an 8th edition out right now, but I was given this one from my friend who took NCLEX. I think she took it last year or maybe the year before, but I think there's only 8 editions out. So I was just kind of going through everything that I had, and I saw this one, and I saw that it had really good descriptions, big bullet points on important stuff, and in addition, it also had the titles, like the subjects, and even smaller subjects, so adult respiratory, GI, endocrine, then they have PEDS, maternity, fundamentals, what else is in here? Adult cardiovascular, GI, GU, neuro, eye, and then they also have a little bit on mental health, and then a comprehensive test at the end. So I will also use this one. And then these next 3 books I got from Half Price Books, actually. Basically anything that said NCLEX on it. Half Price Books had a warehouse sale. I think it was maybe in January. But anything that said NCLEX on it, I got it. So this is the Lippincotts review for NCLEX, which I haven't opened. And then Kaplan Nursing the Basics and the RN course book. So I actually haven't opened these or gone through them, but they were $3. So I figured, why not? So these 2 also. So now I'm just gonna spend some time going through all of my resources and finding what the general comprehensive review books like the Saunders and the Lippincott and the Kaplan, what those have labeled as, they're like in their table of contents, and see if they're kind of general, the same across the board, or different, and then just jot those out so I can kind of see where I want to go with it. I think what I do want to do is go by I want to go by topic for some of the smaller classes, I guess, that we've gone through. So like nutrition was a really small one. I probably will leave nutrition for last, because just in, like, let's say med surg, they'll talk about alterations in nutrition. So if there's anything that I'm confused about, like what is folic acid, what does it do, and it's not in that book, I will then go back to my ATI nutrition book to look that up. So I think I'm gonna do it by subject. Let's see. Okay, so really quick, as I go through the 4th book that I have, this Kaplan RN course book is very, very similar to the layout that we're using for the ATI live review. So let me get that. So for the ATI live review, we, like I said earlier, we're doing 3 days, and each day we go through some of the RN, like the main content. So things like pharmacological and parenteral therapies, reduction of risk potential, psychological adaptation, basic care and comfort. The NCLEX is, I haven't taken it, so it's allegedly. Testing if you were safe, if you were competent. So a lot of it falls under these things. And Kaplan, the RN course book, actually has everything listed under these. So maybe I will go through some of what we were doing on ATI, the live review, the 3-day live review, go through some of my notes in some of these chapters and see how it really lines up. So I think that I'm going to mix in this book throughout the entire, I will probably mix in this RN course book throughout my entire NCLEX study schedule adventure, just because it actually doesn't go by subject, it goes by content type. So pharmacological and parental therapies, you could get a question from any subject at all. It could be PEDS, it could be med surg, it could be mental health, but at the core it's asking you pharmacological and parental therapies. Do you know what this is for? Do you know what this IV initiation is for? Stuff like that. And reduction of risk potential, I think, is a huge one. It could be, once again, asked over any subject at all. It's just asking, do you know what is safest for the patient? What is going to cause the most harm to your patient? What's going to cause the least harm? Stuff like that. So I just wanted to throw this in here before I completely forgot about it. But that I think I'm going to throw in. Also, because each of these chapters, I also started from chapter 3 because the first 2 were just like intro type things. I'm also going to do the page numbers of these so I can kind of break it up as well, because it is a pretty thick book. So we'll see. Let's keep going. Okay, so remember how I said that the Kaplan RN course content had the same kind of outlay as our ATI Live review? So I just went on the ncsbn.org website, the National Council Board for Registered Nurses, and they actually have the same kind of outlook. So I think I've finally cracked the code. So it says that there's 4 major client need categories, and then 2 of the other 4 categories are subdivided. All the categories, it says, and the bolded ones are the 4, and then under psychological integrity, it has other subcategories. So these are the 4 that I'm going to focus on from my RN content book that I got from Kaplan, actually. Well, I didn't get it from Kaplan, I got it from Half Price Books. So these are what I'm going to focus on. Awesome, love it. So I'm going to make sure that there's a day each week that I go through these 4 topics, and then I'll just throw the rest of them in there at some point. Okay, so I'm still really bummed you guys didn't get to see me struggle through this, but the next thing that I'm going to do is make my work schedule, so then I know how many hours a day I can allot to studying and working. Usually I do that flipped, like the opposite. So usually I will put in my study hours and then put in my work hours on free days. But because of the crisis, we're having Surg employment and people are needing to sign up for shifts and stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my work schedule in my calendar, and then I'll probably just put the topics or the subjects for each nursing core class on the day that I want to do them, because I do want to try to stick to the schedule as much as possible, but I also don't know how long it would really take me to review that information, so I don't want to put too much on one day and then just let myself down. So I'm going to put my work schedule in, and then also put the headings for all of these dates in my planner. Okay, so like I said earlier, I was a complete slacker this morning. I got off of work really late, and slept for like a couple hours, and then I had to wake up for this ATI live review. So I'm going to go back through my notes and fill in the blanks of what we went over for the day, and then I will set everything up for tomorrow because everything's a mess right now because I was freaking out about this NCLEX. But I do feel a little better about it just by going through and trying to find where to even start. I think finding where to start is the hardest part because it's so broad. It's not like you should focus on all like med-surg or focus on all of psych. It's crazy. And then I don't want to do all of med-surg, like try to get through one med-surg book and then go and try to get through the L&D book or maternity, because NCLEX will throw you questions from every single subject. It may be 2 med-surg questions and maternity, or it could be med-surg, maternity, psych, and then PEDS. So I decided to organize my days just like by going through the subject. I did give myself 2 days out of the week for med-surg specifically, just because it's such a big book and it has so many topics and disorders under it. But yeah, I think I feel a little bit better about it now, but I will keep you guys updated, definitely. And if you guys have any suggestions, please let me know. If this was helpful for you, also give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down. If you absolutely hate it, that's totally fine. But let me know what works for you and what you've done and what you're planning to do, because I'm confused and I hope that this really works. But if it doesn't work for me, at least hopefully I help somebody else. But thank you guys so much for watching again. I will probably make an entire playlist about NCLEX study just because I'll be doing it every day, so I might as well do a bunch of like study with me's and time lapses and just updates of how I'm doing, because I'm missing all of the outside social interaction. I am still going to work, but we do not hang out outside of work. We're all staying away from everyone when we're not at work, and that is how it should be. I am praying for myself, my coworkers, you, your family, the entire country during these times, and we are going to get through this, but just stay home. That's all I gotta say. All right.